Hello everybody, Tajri on the God 3 here, and welcome back to Pokemon Showdown. Today I'll be giving you guys 2 battles today. Sorry for giving you guys only 2 battles, but this battle was really long, and I didn't want to try to tack on a 3rd battle on this. So, yeah, in this battle I decided to use some actual OU Pokemon. I decided to actually make a team this time around, rather than use random. So I got a Breloom out here, and the Breloom is Toxic Orbit because he has the Poison Heal. Unfortunately, the Poison Heal ability goes away thanks to the Durant that used Entertainment to pass over its Tron. My Drain Punch obviously brought Riolu down to its final health point, and then he used the Reversal to knock Breloom out. It's basically the same tactic that most Rattatas use with the Endeavor and things like that. So I think this is pretty funny. I bring out Daydene, and Daydene uses the Citrus Berry and the Cheek Pouch to heal back up to full health and knock out the Riolu using Nuzzle. I thought it was kind of cool that Daydene and Riolu are out here in this giant OU battle with big-ass Pokemon. So yeah, Daydene is actually pretty cool on this team, on this set. I use the Nuzzle in order to paralyze Frostlass, but the Nuzzle gets disabled due to the ability Frostlass has. So I just bust in some Thunderbolts and I try to use Daydene at this point. Frostlass is basically, her job, I'm guessing, is to just lay a bunch of spikes, and they did succeed in that. So I use Thunderbolt, and then after that, Scolipede comes out here, and I hate fighting Scolipedes. Every time I fight a Scolipede, something wrong happens. So I go ahead and get my Citrus Berry back using the Recycle. That's the whole plan behind this Daydene, is to use Recycle, Citrus Berry, Cheek Pouch. It's a really good strategy, and it makes Daydene really powerful and hard to deal with, actually. So then I end up using the Nuzzle that hits the Scolipede, but not enough to knock out the substitute. I use the Nuzzle again. Obviously, it's not going to work because of the Protect. So I go ahead and try to just make the substitute fade with the Thunderbolt. He baton passes those speed boosts on the Swoobat. Now, Daydene actually lucks out a lot here and ends up using Thunderbolt again on Swoobat, while Swoobat took its time to use Calm Mind because it wanted to up everything. I got a critical hit, and that knocked Swoobat out. So they just knocked out like 3 Pokemon here, and I thought that was really cool. So Aggron comes out here, and obviously I don't want a Daydene out here as long as an Aggron, so the job was to paralyze Aggron and then switch out to another Pokemon I knew would take on a Mega Aggron, which is very defensive. This is the part of the battle where everything gets really elongated because it's basically a giant war between 2 stallers, 2 Pokemon that are known for really bulky defense and power. So a lot of this is just him using Aggron to use Rest and then healing up the Aggron. And then every time I bring the damage down a little bit, he's going to heal up more with the Rest. So while that's going on, I might as well talk about some other things, because every time I bring down Aggron's health, it's going to go right back up, and he keeps using Curse in order to make his defenses go up, and Aggron already has considerably high defenses. So yeah, this match goes on for quite some time, and it ends in a way that you may not expect. And I'm not talking about this battle between these 2 Pokemon, but the battle itself ends a little bit funnier than you would expect. So yeah, it's just a giant stall war. You're probably wondering, what's he got that Chansey on his team for? I was experimenting with different Pokemon at this point. I wanted to make various different teams, various different strategic teams that I know would work really well in battles like these. And these are still in the Gen 6 OU tier. So obviously a lot of rules have changed since then. I know in the next battle we'll be doing Gen 7 rules, but I do still have some recordings of Gen 6 battle, and I definitely will all let you know in the title before the battle actually starts. But other than that, as we can see back at the battlefield, yeah, this continuing cycle is just going to keep happening. I look out with the crit on the Earthquake, and I was hoping to God that I get a crit again. He ends up using the Sleep Talk, but the Head Smash misses a lot. I was hoping for a crit. I was so tantalizingly close to killing Aggron. Then he uses Rest again and heals right back up, so I got to start all over. So he's just wearing me out at this point. The Aggron can't do much to me because he doesn't have that much, like, packing power to do much to me, so I just go ahead and switch out to Noivern. And then I end up using Flamethrower because I know the special attack-wise, Noivern's really strong, and special defensive-wise, Aggron doesn't have much going for it. The Head Smash will kill Noivern, but thankfully it missed this time. I tried to use another Flamethrower to knock him out. He ends up waking up. I end up getting hit. He ends up using the Rest, so we start this dance all over again. So then I just go ahead, bust out the Flamethrower, and my main goal here is to just kill the damn Aggron. Like, that's all I'm focused on right now. Obviously, the curse is going to make the defenses go back up. I use another flamethrower in hopes of killing it, but Aggron's probably going to wake up and end up using the head smash on me. Use the sleep talk. The sleep talk turns into head smash, and Neuburn is out. But apparently, the Aggron ends up hurting himself to recoil damage, and after that, Helio Shade basically gave up because he knew that the Aggron was his best bet. So they knocked out like 3 Pokemon on that team, and then once I knocked out their defensive wall, that was it. So the next battle is between, I'm actually using Ash's team, Ash's Best Wishes team. Now, a lot of people say that Ash's Best Wishes team was pretty bad, and I kind of agree with them. But I think I think Ash was on to something. So I use Snivy, and I end up using Snivy's Glare. Now, what I do, obviously, this is Ash's Best Wishes team, but I do give these Pokemon some different moves in order to accommodate for their abilities and things like that. So, for example, my Snivy has Contrary, so that every time I use a Leaf Storm, I gain special attack rather than lose special attack. So it's actually pretty cool to do a lot of damage on the Porygon Z and get special attack up rather than down. Unfortunately, I get screwed over when my Leaf Storm misses, so I end up getting knocked out by the Shadow Ball, but that's okay. And if you're wondering how Snivy lived through all of that, it was holding an Evilite. My Crocodile comes out here, and Crocodile brings its attack down, but it doesn't make much of a difference because of the Z conversion. I use Crunch on Porygon Z and knock it out because Z conversion turns Porygon Z into a Ghost-type Pokemon. I use Earthquake on the Toxapex, and Toxapex manages to stay alive with a little bit of health left, and then ends up trying to hold its own with Baneful Bunker, and it's basically out here to just lay toxic spikes at this point, I think. So Crocodile does pull most of the weight here by knocking out the Toxapex with a Life Orb Earthquake. So then, obviously, we got Gigalith out here. He busts out the Sandstorm in the air. The Sandstorm actually screws this person over because I end up knocking out the Gigalith, and I'm not going to take any damage because Crocodile is a ground-type Pokemon. So obviously, I can still use Earthquake on Sadie, the Lycanroc. Lycanroc's down to 1 health because of the Sash. So I can use an Earthquake again and knock out the Lycanroc. Lycanroc does Stone Edge on me. I knock out the Lycanroc, but then I end up taking damage as well because of the Life Orb. So Crocodile goes down, so that means Crocodile was able to take out 3 Pokemon. Circuitry comes out here, and I bust out Pignite, and I think, okay, this is cool. I can go ahead and use Flare Blitz, and that'll knock out the Circuitry. Circuitry uses Wrap. I use Flare Blitz. That knocks the Circuitry out. So Pignite did his job. So I got 4 Pokemon left, and I'm actually pretty good. The next Pokemon is actually pretty damn powerful. It's Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko busts out the Electric Surge. That's obviously going to knock out Pignite with the Dazzling Gleam because fighting's weak to Fairy. But I can tell this Tapu Koko is actually Life Orb because that did damage on him. Unfezant, she comes out here, and yes, that's a girl, Unfezant, and she's just as useful as she is in the anime, and she gets knocked out by the Thunderbolt. It did a little bit of damage on Tapu Koko because of the Sandstorm and the Life Orb. I got Oshawott out here, and Oshawott, I go ahead and try to use 2 Aqua Jets, try to get off 2 Aqua Jets in on Tapu Koko. I know I can get the second one off because of the Focus Sash, because he ends up getting poisoned, but then I end up getting hit by the Sandstorm that I completely forgot about, and Oshawott was down. Also, he's poisoned because of the Toxic Spikes. Tapu Koko and Pikachu come out here, and it's the final fight. I use Fake Out to damage Tapu Koko with the hopes that it'll flinch it, and then the Sandstorm can just knock it out. But then what ends up happening, Tapu Koko ends up using Roost to heal up a lot of its health. But thankfully, because the electric terrain's still out, I was able to use Thunderbolt. Pikachu also had a yellow orb, or the orb, so I was able to win the battle there. So with that said, I'll see you all then, everybody. Tyron the God 3, out.